4 days into the detox, and yeah, it's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. I feel nauseous. I feel like I want to throw up. Um, and last night, my foot was tingling, getting all kinds of pains shooting in my foot. It started in my leg, and it would go down. And all of a sudden, throughout the night, the pain kept waking me up throughout the night. And I woke up this morning and it was too tender to even walk. Plans today. I was supposed to go get my oil changed. I was supposed to do my laundry. I was supposed to do a few videos today. I was supposed to take my daughter to work this morning, exercise. I had to cancel everything except going to the bathroom. After sitting there for so long, I said, I just can't sit there anymore. I need to document this and let you guys know my journey, because I am the example of all of this, and this is a lifestyle, and this is my first time detoxing on this level. And yeah, your girl is nauseous 4 days into this, and I can't walk. So let's talk about it. So this. My name is Jem. I am the owner of Sedity Chick Woman's holistic lifestyle empowerment brand, and natural hair it is. And it's not holistic just for nothing, Holistic has to do with the body, the mind, and the soul, getting things in order, being whole, in your mind and in your life, and then, like I said, in your body. And one thing I do know is that the pillar of hair health is nutrition. And, if your body is not together and on par, you will experience not just health issues, joint pain, body aches, big belly, acne, thinning, balding, joint pain. I don't know if I said it already. You can also come down with diabetes, autoimmune diseases. If you look up autoimmune diseases, it's loads of them. It's hundreds of them. And they're the main diseases that people have, sickle cell, diabetes. Well, I put my foot up. Diabetes, just so many things. And we suffer from them because of the foods that we eat. So many animal products is just not good for our body. And over time, our body, which is primarily alkaline, these animal products build up acid in our bodies, and we just have these issues, like I spoke before, the autoimmune diseases and the hair issues. So, as a stylist, I see so many black women, they're losing their hair, and it's not no band-aid that you can put over internal issues. I don't care what kind of hair care products you got, it's a band-aid, because whenever you may go through stress, or whenever your body says enough is enough of that acid and that toxic buildup, not a product in the world is going to bring that back. You have to go through the process of the internal. And my whole thing is that reason why I started this brand is because I wanted to help not only myself and be the example, but help other women too. So I am the sacrificial lamb in all of this. And I can't never speak or guide you guys on a level in which I have not conquered or went through myself. Everything I do with you guys, I really want to be genuine and honest about everything that I go through. And this is not easy for me, but it's necessary. And yeah. So the reason why I went on the detox in the first place is because, as a young kid, I was very obese. I used to wear like a size 22. I'm 5'8", so I used to wear a size 22 when I was in like middle school. I used to shop at a place called Lane Bryant's, and I didn't like being a fat girl. I didn't feel good about myself. I was heavy and I had full lips and I had a gap, and this was a big girl, and I didn't feel confident about myself. And then over time, my grandmom had told me about, I told her that I wanted to lose weight, and I had to discipline myself. So my discipline for myself started with my weight loss journeys. I took a product called Dick Greger Bohemian Diet back then, and I think I lost like 20 pounds or something like that. And I went from a 22 to like a size 16, and then I dropped later on into a 14. That was exciting for me as a young girl, but I always struggled with my weight. I was allowed to eat whatever I want, whenever I wanted, and for me, eating was a coping mechanism. I enjoyed eating. It made me feel good. It made me happy, and I'm actually still like that now, because when I get in an emotional funk, I can do a lot of mindless eating. So that's something that I always have to stay aware of. So over the years, I always stayed maybe about a size 14, even after I had my kids, size 14. Maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I had an episode. No, so before that, my grandmother had passed away. And I'd seen her deteriorate and die from cancer, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. I don't know if you guys have ever had a family member or a loved one die from cancer, a disease that is ignorant and hateful. It takes everything from your family members. And my grandmother, and by her mouth, she said that she wasn't ready to die, and she wasn't willing to accept that she was ready to die. But all her actions of everything that she did was killing herself. My grandmother grew up on chitlins. She grew up on pork. She smoked Newports cigarettes. She was an alcoholic, and she did have her times where though she would eat, all like vegan meals. As she got older, she would have those times that she would do that. But she had a high sweet tooth. So, my grandmother was my shero, and I loved her very much and still do. And she raised me. And just seeing her die was an eye-opener to me, that I never want to die in that manner. I know we're all going to die, but I don't want to suffer. So in my mind, it's like, if there is something that I can do about it in my life while I am alive, then that's what I need to do. So I began when I came home, I began my journey. I was just so broken about losing my grandmother, and I went through a process of depression and not feeling loved and wanted and all this different kind of stuff. And I had to find myself again. And a part of finding myself was loving myself, and that was not only trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, because at that time I was a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I wasn't doing hair at that time, and I just had to figure it out. So I decided that I was going to start, doing better for my health, eating more healthy. So I made a commitment to myself, that I wasn't going to um, eat the same way. So what I did, I started researching about cancer, and it was amazing because I found a link between the foods that cause cancer to the same foods that cause thinning and balding. So it was amazing to me because it made me realize why I had so many hair problems when I was coming up. I went through alopecia problems and inflammation problems in my scalp, and my hair would fall right out when I was, and that happened to me when I was in high school. I got a relaxer. That's where it started, and then from there, it reoccurred. So it kept laying dormant, and it kept reoccurring. So all of this made me think about my life and the things that was going on possibly in my body. So I started to try to lose weight. I couldn't lose weight. It took me a whole year to finally lose weight, because what happened is that I would go to the gym, I would eat right, and then on the weekend when I want to have like one little cheat meal, your girl would gain it all back. And it was just weird, and this just kept happening over and over again. So I decided that what I was going to do was not stop. So I started exercising even harder. I decided that I was going to go vegan, but I didn't research vegan the way I needed to. And the vegan that I was I just didn't eat meat. And I didn't eat sugar at that time, but I ate a lot of starches. I still ate macaroni and cheese. I still had biscuits and bread and stuff like that. I wasn't losing no weight. So it wasn't until I actually started to eat majority fruits and vegetables in my diet that my weight finally started to come down. Once I did that, I knew I was on to something. But the deal was I was having problems where as though I was forgetting how to breathe. Who does that, right? I would fall out. It was just like I couldn't breathe. And I would just push myself. Anybody who knows me knows that I will push myself. I will respect myself, but I will push myself to see what I can do. And if I can't, then I'll back off. I may try again, but then I'll back off again. So the deal is I was exercising and eating, majority fruits and vegetables, and stopped like the starches, the macaroni and cheese, a lot of the biscuits and the bread and sandwiches and stuff like that. I just completely stopped all of that. And I still was eating that ice cream. Boy, I still was eating that ice cream. But I wasn't drinking milk anymore. And the only time I think I would have cheese was when I was going to make like cheese eggs, or if I had pizza or something like that. So, yeah, I was struggling, but during that struggle, the beautiful things about struggle is it allows you to reflect and see what's working and what's not working, and allows you to woman up, about the direction that you really want to go, because at the end of the day, it's only us versus us. It's me versus me. It's not me versus you. And it's not you versus me. It's you versus you, at the end of the day. So, I decided that I was going to continue exercising, and one day I was at the gym and I fell out. And when I fell out, I when I tried to get up, I couldn't lift my upper body off of the ground. I couldn't breathe. And it's very embarrassing and very vulnerable to fall out around people that you don't know. And that was the beginning of me realizing that maybe something was wrong. So at that point, I didn't do nothing about it. It happened again. And I said, okay, something got to be wrong. Mind you, never on no medication. Every time I go to the doctors, it's a green check on everything. Miss Morgan, you look good. You are in great health. All is well. Even when I was obese. So I knew that was BS. So I decided one day that my husband had said to me, I was asleep, and my husband is a hustler, honey, and he works very hard. He's the hardest working man that I ever known, and he is not about lazy at all. And when he seen me sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping, he was like, Jennifer, you gonna sleep your life away. And that pricked me, like, you ain't getting nothing done. You ain't making no happen. You ain't making nothing happen. You ain't making no noise in these streets. So I decided that I noticed that I was very lethargic and I just didn't have any energy, and I was tired all the time. And I wasn't going to the bathroom. I wasn't moving my bowels. I had this head full of long, beautiful natural hair, and it was brittle as a Brillo pad. And I had moments where I would be in the shower shampooing my hair, and clumps of my hair would fall out. But when I went through my hair, I couldn't see where it came from. I had that much hair. It's amazing how so many things, series of things that can happen to us, and we just normalize them. So the deal is I decided one day to go to the doctors. I went to the doctors, and they did some blood work, and they said to me, oh, Miss Morgan, nothing's wrong with you. I left with an empty feeling in my gut, like, he don't know what the hell he talking about. And it wasn't that I was telling myself or speaking bad on me. You just know what you know. And he wasn't hitting it on the nose. And it's amazing because now I remember, and I'm always connecting the dots. I remember when I prayed to God and asked God to show me how to heal myself. And something just told me when I left from the doctor's office to go to the holistic store, vitamin store behind the McDonald's here in Fayetteville. So I went in there, and I've been in there before. But this day it was different because it was a gentleman that was there who was a doctor. And I said to him, I let them know what was going on with me. And I just came from the doctors, and I just couldn't breathe, and I just didn't feel good. And the doctor said to me, I need to take your blood. I said my blood was already taken. He said, no, I need to take your blood. So he sat me down, and he said to me, you know, this is the last day I'm going to be here. I'm not going to be here no more. So I just knew it was meant to be. So basically he pricked my finger, and usually the normal way is that once they prick your finger the first time, your blood is like running, you know, it's blood, it's liquidy. And mine, when he pricked me, nothing would come out. He pricked me 5 times, y'all. And finally, at the fifth one, blood came out, but it was so thick. And he said to me, "Are you alive?" And I said to him, I just was like very taken back that he said that, because I'm like, "I'm here. Like, what do you mean, am I alive?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Your blood is so thick." And he showed me, like, he put my blood, the drop of blood that he had of mine, between these glass, and he put it underneath a microscope. And what it's supposed to do is widen and have a ring of water around it. But that is not what happened. What actually happened was it started to dissipate. And when he looked under the microscope, he said that my cells were stagnant. They were all clumped together and stagnant, and they're supposed to be moving. I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" He said, "You're not getting enough oxygen in your body." He said, "Your muscles, your cells, your tissues, your brain is not getting enough oxygen. Your blood is too thick. You are lucky you didn't have a heart attack." And I'm like, "What?" Mind you, I just came from the doctors. Mind you, when my grandmother died, she was going to the doctors every single week. She didn't feel good one day, and guess what she did? She went to the emergency room, and guess what? They told her she was at 4-stage cancer. So when it comes to doctors and this Western medicine, I ain't for it. It taught me to take care of myself beforehand, because I don't want them doing a guessing game on me, or misdiagnosing me, or not diagnosing me at all, and I have something. So when he said that, it scared the hell out of me. So he was telling me that I was eating the wrong foods. So I changed my eating habits, and he told me to start to eat towards my blood type. I started to eat towards my blood type. I started seeing a drastic change. I noticed, I slimmed down terrifically, very quickly. I got my energy back. I started going to the bathroom. My hair texture actually changed from brittle to a more smoother hair texture. My hair products actually started to work. I thought it was just my hair products. It wasn't. It was my body. So it taught me that when you got things going on with you internally, I was internally dry. If you don't got oxygen and your blood is thick and it's stagnant, you're dry. You are dehydrated, literally. And I was drinking a bunch of water, but you can drink as much water as you want, but if it's not regenerating your cells, you're not going to be hydrated. So I was internally dry, and guess what? That resulted in my hair. That's why it was so brittle like that. And that's why I had so much dry scalp as well. So I started that, and I remember I was eating a lot of vegetables, and I was good. I was enjoying it, and I felt good, and I looked good. But then it was until this one day that I had ate some broccoli, and y'all, that broccoli got stuck in my chest, and it was like I was going to die. I didn't know what was going on. So they kept telling me my pH balance. They wanted me to check my pH balance. And they told me to buy these strips and to pee on these strips to tell me the balance of if I was more acid or alkaline. So when I did that, I was acidic. So it was crazy, because I then immediately went on to look at more what it was, acidic foods and alkaline foods. And that's just something that dropped in my spirit. And Dr. Sabi had came up, and then he started talking about alkaline foods. So then I started doing this thing of eating more alkaline foods, and that took me over the edge. That had me, oh my gosh, I felt so good eating. But alkaline foods I was eating was cooked foods. I felt good. I was going to the bathroom. My stomach was on flat. I mean, it was just amazing. I enjoyed the food. I loved the food that I was preparing. It was just a whole new beautiful thing. But then I realized that I still wasn't going to the bathroom the way that I needed to. I still noticed that I was having eczema. I still noticed that I was having pains in my shoulder. Like sometimes when I would do my exercise, my pains, I would have this pain in my joint right here. My nails were very brittle. I noticed that My right leg that is messing with me now, I would have pains in the thigh part, like in the bone. So I remember after I had my daughter Crystal, the doctor told me that Crystal took all my calcium and that I needed to take calcium. So I figured that's what it was. Not remembering that I had an episode that was like maybe about 12 years ago that I was eating a lot of shrimp and drinking a lot of wine. And I woke up one day and my foot was like the clumps. Okay. It was gigantic. It was in so much pain. Come find out I had gout. And basically it's a buildup of uric acid in your body, and it resided in my foot. And I forgot all about that. So this is all a part of connecting the dots. And I just wasn't going to the bathroom. Joints hurting, nails, everything just was a repeated thing. It wasn't going away. So I decided to dig a little deeper in my research. What is going on? And I remember connecting the dots together that these things that I'm suffering from are autoimmune disease. And I started to realize about your gut health, and that over time of you eating a lot of foods that have that are animal products and that are processed and that are hydrogenated oils and that are GMO and that have pesticides on it, the chemicals actually make a hole in the inner lining of your stomach, and these food particles go into your bloodstream, and it just causes havoc, and that's how we get autoimmune disease. But see, a lot of this stuff I was born with. I had eczema since I was a little girl. And, from my research, I remember this is a part of epigenetics. These are the things that was in my mother's system before she had me. And when she had me, these are the things that came along with the package of my life. So I decided in my research, I started to understand about the deeper level of eating, and that like certain fruits you shouldn't mix, certain vegetables you shouldn't mix, because there was alkaline fruits and there was alkaline fruits and alkaline veggies, and there was acidic fruits and acidic veggies. So come find out that reason why I felt like that with the broccoli was because it was acidic. And I had basically, me now looking back, I had an override of acid in my body. Now I'm looking back, it been had started because I already had autoimmune issues, because I've always had eczema since I was a little girl. I wasn't going to the bathroom since I was a little girl. I wound up having that gout like years, prior. And then here I go, belching and stuff and not being able to digest my food. It was acid. So, like I said, I went on alkaline and everything, and then I decided I was going to go raw. So I decided I was going to do raw. I noticed a big difference. So I decided to go raw maybe about a month ago. And it was a lot of discipline. I did it for maybe about 2 weeks. And the results, how it made me feel, how it was, coming down off this weight, it was amazing. Energy on high, feeling good, looking good, everything, right? But still in all, because I'm eating raw, it still wasn't enough. And the deal is that in my research, I found out that eating fruits, there's an enzyme that is in fruits that hydrates us on a cellular level. It helps flush your kidneys and your liver and your lymphatic system and your digestive system. And that's what I needed. So me going raw was my stepping stone of getting my mind together to be able to embark on this journey. So along with this, I understood that, I needed to take specific herbs to help along with the process. All right. So just so happened, I was looking, I think for maybe about a while back, I was already looking. But this one person stood out to me. This one company stood out to me, and he just was so helpful, and he answered all my questions beforehand and didn't ask me for anything. And I just was drilling this dude, and he was just answering all my questions, and he didn't know that I knew the things that I knew, and the things that he was telling me was according to the things that was right. So my soul agreed with the things he was saying, so I decided to go with it. So here I am. I said that I was going to do it on Thanksgiving, and that wasn't smart to do because I really needed to enjoy with my family and my friends. But I did. So this is how it went. So my salon had a potluck. I cooked some collards and some potato salad. And I decided I was going to eat Thanksgiving dinner with them. And that was on Thanksgiving, I was just going to go ahead and start my detox. So the day before Thanksgiving, there was so much food left over at the salon, and the salon owners knew that I wasn't cooking because I have young adults who particularly did not want to help out with cooking, didn't want to help out with cleaning up, preparing. They just wanted to sit down and eat like they're 5 and 6 again. And it's just not that type of hype anymore. So I decided that I wasn't going to cook Thanksgiving, and my husband's Jamaican, and he was not concerned about Thanksgiving like that anyway. He would rather have some oxtails or curry goat. He ain't concerned about no Thanksgiving dinner. So they decided to give me all this food. So on my way back home, y'all, one of the girls from the salon had bought this red velvet cake, and it was just calling me, and I ate it and I enjoyed it, and me and my kids just enjoyed our evening that day. And prior to that day, I had started taking the herbs for the detox. So I got, when you make a decision, you shouldn't be going back in your head like, you shouldn't have did that. No, is your yes going to be your yes, or your no going to be your no? And I started to do that, but I said to myself, no, you're not going to do that. You made a decision. You messed up. You made a choice to mess up. You ate that cake. You enjoyed that cake. That cake was delicious. Start again tomorrow. So that's what I did. So now I'm 4 days in. So the first day, actually doing a detox, what I did was I just did all fruits, right? I didn't do my herbs. So I wanted to totally alkalize my body. The second day I started in on the herbs. I noticed that my chest was burning. I had a lot of burning in my chest. I noticed that my head was pounding, and I just was getting this drainage of this clear mucus that just kept coming out of just dripping out of my nose, coming up. When I would talk, it would just come up out of my mouth. And I had a mask on, so nobody knew what was going on, but it would be in my mouth, and I had to excuse myself and go to the bathroom and spit it out. I'm like, wow, okay. So that was fine. I made it through the first day. Second day, made it through the second day. No problem. Now, the second day, what I did notice is my energy was drained. I'm an exercise girl. I couldn't even finish my exercise. I was out of it. I was dizzy. I was zooted. I just couldn't keep up with my own self. My mind and my heart wanted to do it, but my body said, girl, sit down. So I tried the best I could. I exhausted myself. I got a good sweat in. And I didn't do that much to even break that sweat. It just came out. And sweating is good. I'm actually supposed to sweat and do 30 minutes of walking or some type of cardiovascular exercise with this detox, because sweating helps you release toxins and allows the process to move faster. So last night, I'm still doing my detox and everything, and I noticed that I have this tingling in my foot. I'm having a tingling in my foot, like almost like it's about to go to sleep, like little tingle, tingle, little tingle, tingle. And then I'm noticing that my leg and my bone is just aching. So I'm like, okay, this is nothing new. That was before. I had this before. It's not a big deal. Throughout the night, pains was shooting up my leg, my right leg. Like my foot was like almost like feel like it was numb, but it was pain shooting through that numbness up my leg, and it was going from the tippy toe of my big foot to all my toes, all the way to the bone of my big toe, on up my calf, on up the front of my thigh, up to my shoulder. Y'all, how about this? These are the same pains that I had before. Same pains I had before. So I inboxed and talked to the guy. He told me that the pain that I'm having, which I already knew, is inflammation. So inflammation is acid. I didn't really correlate the two, but he's right. The inflammation is acid. It's toxins. So what happened is he's saying to me, whatever is the worst off in your body is the first thing that's going to respond. So that gout that I had, y'all, that stuff been sitting in my body and laying dormant for 13 years. 13 years. That's how long ago that happened. 13 years. That's a long time for toxins to be laying in your body. And the deal is, you know what it shows me? That there's this cover up that we always do. I went through one phase to the next, right? But the deal is, if my mind would have stayed and I'm just going to continue eating raw, I would have never been able to get to the root of this problem. And guess what? It still would have laid dormant. So it makes sense to me, like, if you have, hair in the sink, some water will get through, right? It'll drip right on through. So that's just like, you eating well, and not detoxing. Some of your goodness is going to get through, right? But you still got that layer of mess that's there that is blocking you to your full healing. And that's the process that I'm going through right now. And is it painful? Hell yeah. Do I feel nauseous and sick? Yes, I do. I'm only 4 days in. This is not going to be an easy journey. I can't put my foot in a shoe. It is too painful and too sensitive. But the deal is, I got to go through it. I can't make this be an excuse to stop. Why stop now? I got to keep going. I got to keep going. Whatever's in there needs to come out. It's so funny because it just like remind me, like how us as humans, we can still naturally still want what's not good for us. I've had, oh my God, my head. I've had, my mind is playing tricks on me, basically. I've been thinking about eating the foods that I haven't eaten in years. Wanting oxtails and, eating meat. It's a game. It's truly a mental game. And everything starts in the mind, guys. Everything starts in the mind. And I'm sitting here thinking about all these foods, and it's crazy because, every time on Instagram or something like that, food channels all of a sudden just start popping up. And I'm just like, whatever, like, get out of here. And I want it. I can taste it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what the result is. You're going through it now, girl. You're in pain. You are in pain. Your body is agitated and it is mad at you, girl. It is letting you know that enough is enough. It's amazing because it just reminds me of, I know this is a little off key, but it reminds me of some toxic relationships that I was in. And you know how you had, I don't know if you guys have ever been in love with somebody who was toxic and you knew that they were not good for you, but you still wanted them anyway, you know? That's what it reminds me of. It's like, it's just like a part of life. Like, you're going to it just shows me like in every area of your life, you're going to always have to discipline yourself to do what's best for you. And a wise man once said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And, you know, if you are, you know, not honest in one part of your life, you're honest in many other, you're not honest in other areas of your life. If you, you know, if you late in one area of your life, you're late in all the other areas of your life. It's just the way it goes because we are who we are and we take us wherever we go. And one thing we can't do is run from ourselves. And the deal is that I know that there's a balance with all of this. And right now, today, I want to say that I will eat again, like maybe a chicken wings or crab, you know, some of the things that I like, but there'll be like once in a blue moon that I'll do those things. I will, after I'm done this process, I will stay on a plant-based diet. How long I'm going to do this, I don't know. I don't know. But what I am going to do is I'm going to finish out everything that I have and that I purchase. And that could be 3 weeks. It could be a month. Whatever, how long it takes for me to finish the products that I have and I purchase is how long I'm going to do this. I do want to enjoy Christmas dinner with my family. And after I do enjoy Christmas dinner, I'm going to go right back on the detox again. From my understanding that this really could take, to get thoroughly cleaned out, you really need to be consistent for as long as it takes. And that could be 6 months. It could be 12 months. It could be 24 months. It could be 36 months. It really depends on your body and the level of toxicity that you are at. Whenever your symptoms stop, you're supposed to go like another 30 to 60 days after that to make sure all is well, and then you can stop your detox process. We'll see. We will see. I do notice that I was getting rashes that was breaking out all on my hand here. They are still there, but they're clearing up. I was using medicine on this. This I wasn't. My eczema yesterday was just itching me like crazy. You're just going to go through it. Just understand that you're going to go, if you do this process, you're going to go through a withdrawal. But see, I'm trying to keep my mind towards the bigger picture. My goal is to be healthy internally. I want to be able to figure out what is normal for me for my going to the bathroom. I want my hair to be on the growth rate of 6 inches per year, the way it's supposed to, after my trims. Like, I want my hair to grow just that fast. I know that if you're not internally dry, you won't experience as many split ends. You won't experience damaged, brittle hair. Your hair products will work better. You won't have dry scalp. You won't have dandruff. You know, you won't have these certain issues, and your hair products will work better for you. Um, I want to see change. I want to see a change. And this is something that I am going to incorporate in my life. Um, I talk about in my book, Natural Hair Is, um, to dry fast. And I talk about also, having days of eating just straight alkaline or eating, raw. Because I understand that everybody is on different health levels and have different different motivation. Some people are just not able to stick to something like this. Um, but um, this is something that I think that I will do 4 times out of the year, even after I stop, because I'm going to have my times, my special occasions, whereas though I'm going to still have me some lemon pepper wings or have me some crabs or have me some she crab soup or something like that. I'm going to do majority plant-based and raw. But when it's time for me to enjoy myself, I'm going to do by seasons, 4 quarters: winter, spring, summer, fall. And out of those seasons, I'm allow myself to eat what I want maybe 3 times, 2 times, maybe 2 or 3 times. Um, but the majority of the rest is going to be raw and alkaline cooked food. Alkaline, alkaline vegan, raw. That's what I'm going to be rocking with. But out of that season, I will allow myself to have 2 or 3 meals that I enjoy. Um, because there's times that you may have birthdays or events. Give yourself, I'm talking about me, I'm gonna give myself that grace. But 2 weeks, every time the seasons begin, I'm gonna go on a 2 week detox, and it's going to be this type of detox. That's what I'm going to do. So that's how I'm going to maneuver this and balance this. But right now, how long am I going to do this? I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I ain't gonna give up. I ain't gonna give up. I'm gonna rock through this, and until all that product in there is gone. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on my process and my progress. My daughter just called and said, "You ain't sick." She said that because she see I got this wig on. I put a little bit of makeup on to try to get myself together. But trust me, think about having to walk back up these stairs with this foot, and that ain't gonna be no fun. And I still got stuff to take, and that stuff is nasty. It's nasty, but it gotta be done. So I just wanted to share with you guys my journey. For those who are interested, for those who maybe later be thinking about it, because I'm sure everybody's journey is going to be different. I know people who got fungus in their body and, different things like that. I wouldn't be surprised if I had parasites in my body. Everybody's journey is going to be different of how their body is going to react and respond to the detoxing process. But whatever it is, it's going to be worth it on the other side, because at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this with every filter of my being, I rather discipline myself and get myself together before I catch any disease and have to be on anybody's medication, paying all that money for medication, and they're going to put you on food restrictions anyway, eventually, as it gets worse. I don't want to get to that point that I get on medication. That's not the type of lifestyle for me. I got a higher standard of living. This is what this brand is about. Solidity Chick is about a higher standard of living, being mindful, making choices that is best for you. Ain't about emotions and being governed by bad habits. It's about being accountable for yourself and treating yourself with respect and treating other people with respect as well, because how you treat others is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. I firmly believe that as well. So within saying that, I am signing off. I'm a soldier in this. I'm thugging it out. I'm going to do this. I'm probably going to be about a month in this game. And my stomach is sinking in. My stomach is on fire. So whatever is in there that's not supposed to be, it is just, it's fighting it. And I love it. Fight it. It hurts, but fight it. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. I don't want it in there no more. So peace out. Because I'm about to snatch this wig off and go upstairs, y'all. And yeah, I'll talk to you later.